Hello, everyone. Welcome to Alphawisdom. This is Mystic Cassandria, and this is lesson 93. We're talking about the Simian Line. As introduced in the previous lesson, there's a little more to say about the Simian Line. This is a rare line found on approximately 1% of the population, and there are complex issues that the person who has this line has to face. It's a line that just doesn't go away. It can be in both hands. Most times it's in one hand. Sometimes we'll see it beginning. We call it simian, may appear in one hand, and then we look at the other hand and we see it full, a complete one. So it's incomplete in one hand, complete in the other. Or there may not be a Simian line. But if you do have one, this is information that is interesting to know. So you'll understand yourself a little bit, because there's a conflict going on between the emotions, which represents the heart, and your thinking capacity, which represents the head line. When they are joined together, these are some of the things that you may be going through. But just as a reminder, when these two lines are fused together, we have what is called a Simian line. All right? Now, for those of you just starting out with us today, this is what the Simian line looks like. This is one line, and it's combining the heart line and the head line together. But let's just see what's going on with the illustrations I prepared for you. All right? Okay. Here we have an illustration of the hand with just the one line, and that is the Simian line. All right. Now, I mentioned to you that we have lines that seem to appear. They don't go anywhere. They're just short. They're thin lines, not well defined. Head line is the first one. It usually appears just above the head. It may not be at the beginning. It could be in the center. If a line is there and it's close to the area that we would find that line, in this case the head line, then it is a partial head line. And the one above that, that's a heart line, partially formed. Both are partially formed simply because they don't go, they're just short lines. Now, I made this illustration for you so you could see the difference. In the last lesson, we mentioned sometimes the Simian line is lower on the palm, or it could be higher on the palm. In this example, it's lower. Lower means it's in the area where the head line is. And that simply means the emotions, which are part of this Simian line, are influenced very strongly by the mind. So we have intensity and deep focus going on. Many times with Simian-lined people, whether the line sits lower or the line sits higher, they're generally self-centered. I will give you more examples of what's going on with the Simian line. Okay, let's take the next one. Now this one, Simian line, is higher on the palm. 1% of the population. This is a rare sign, and we find it most times on men's hands. Very rare will we find it on a female's hand. All right, let's continue on just briefly. When the line is found on the left hand, our emotional makeup is often so complex that we find great difficulty in feeling satisfied with or at peace in a relationship. It is likely that we feel the same way about ourselves too. In relationships, we look for a superhero who is perfect. Sorry about that. Who is perfect, yet able to tolerate and forgive our own shortcomings. When it is found on the right hand, we have energy and passion to make something of ourselves and search for a cause to champion. Placed in an area that nurtures our intensity, we can move mountains. In a job that offers little respect or room for self determination, we may become a loose cannon or destructive, misguided missile. Okay, those are some terms that can describe the personality or character of one who has this. This is a rare sign and only occurs in about 1%. Okay, it is a sign of a deeply repressed and obsessive personality, because when they are disappointed in something that happens between them and someone else, they'll keep all that intensity inside. It's very difficult to know what Simian Line people are really feeling or thinking, as they are locked inside themselves and rarely let their feelings out. All thoughts and feelings are channeled into what they do, and this tends to make them tireless and exceptionally hard workers. They never appear to be flustered or worked up, but internally there is a silent, raging storm. This internalized energy means that they need to work harder than the rest of us, and they also need to find some serious outlet to relax. Sudden changes are difficult for them with the Simian Line, as they are amazingly fixed characters. So we don't get that flexibility in there at all. Usually, Simian Line people stand out in some way by being much more determined, relentless, and calm externally than others. Thought and feelings are fused together, so they can find it difficult to see another person's point of view. They can lock hurts and resentments deep inside. So there are signs which might indicate that there's a problem going on. If they have the sign between the thumb, that crease between the thumb, is if there's a line there, that shows anger. Well, when you have a simian line, all of these things like these signs are magnified 100%. And if there is someone that does have a temper and they've displayed it and they have a simian line, they can be very destructive. So it's not their fault, but it's because they have this line there. And another thing that you can watch, the thumb. If it's an excessively large thumb, the upper part, the near the tip or the first flange, if that activity section is wider than the idea section, that's another sign of an explosive personality. So otherwise, they tend to just adjust as best they can. They have tunnel vision and determination to pursue their ideas. They tend to see black or white personalities, believing people and opinions are either right or wrong. If others disagree with them, they are naturally inclined to think that the people are wrong, not they are wrong. They exude charisma, energy, and strength. They find it hard to relax and often feel tense, a silent, raging storm. They can be intensely religious or feel they're on a mission, and often the religion provides them with the certainty to carry out their plans. Many of them are obsessive compulsive personalities. They can be ruthless, efficient dictators when in positions of power and make tough opponents. They find it difficult to engage in small talk or frivolity. They prefer to take an alternative view and work life out through codes, riddles, or puzzles. They need to control their own environment and to win and to succeed. They can enjoy sexual extremes and aggression because they are, or they feel they are, the sexual conqueror. They are capable of greatness and originality, particularly when the line is on the right hand, not the left hand. So there are many characteristics. They would need to relax and certainly be active, but this is their personality, and we find that people who do have the line, if they are, for example, actors, they excel. Whatever they go into, they will excel. That's just a part of the nature of someone who has the Simian line. Okay, well, this ends it. I ran over time a bit, but I wanted to just wrap it up. So I hope you understood what's going on with the Simian line. It's fascinating. There's so many fascinating things when it comes to palmistry, and we will try to cover and master as best we can, as many as we can. All right, well, if you like the lesson, I encourage you to give a thumbs up, share, and of course, subscribe. Thanks again for subscribing. I really appreciate you, and thanks for watching. And of course, stay safe and be happy. Bye.